Hey, fifth grade, we're pretty close. So we did all the push-pulls to get our internal geometry so that we can actually see those different levels wherever we've broken our character or our keychain down into different parts. What we're doing now is finishing up our keychain. So there's two steps that we got to take, and then we'll talk about what are we going to do when we're done uh, after this. But right now, we've got two steps to take that will complete our project and make it so this done. Number one, we need to make sure that we put a hole in our keychain so that it actually can function as a keychain, right? So we can put it on we've got clips that we're going to put them on, and then once we put it on a clip, you can put it on your keys or give it to your parents and let them put it on their keys or whatever it is that you're going to do with it. Clip it on your backpack, whatever it is, again, that you want to do with it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a hole. Now, where you put your hole is going to be something that you need to think about and something you need to decide. For me, I think I'm going to put it in the bottom left corner of my character. And again, this is a question you're going to need to answer for yourself. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to select the circle tool. You can make a hole any kind of shape that you want. That's up to you to decide. I'm going to make a circular hole. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to just kind of find a space about this far away from the edge. And again, I'm going to eyeball it here, but you want to find where you want to be to the degree that you want to be there. And my radius, I would tell that you want a radius, I would say of at least 4 millimeters. Let's see what 4 does there. That's even smaller than I was going, so I'm gonna up the ante a little bit and go all the way to 5. So let's see 5 millimeters. What that looks like. That's pretty good. Okay, 5 millimeters is about 1 centimeter of total diameter. I would tell you you want at least 4 millimeters for your radius. So you've got about 8 millimeters for your diameter. That's a pretty good size. Okay. Once you've made your circle, we're going to go get our push pull tool. We're going to go onto that, click and release, push down. You can't see if I'm going down. I am going down. I'm going to type 3 because the total push-pull height of my object should be 3. 3, and then hit enter. And you can see that made a hole. And you're like, wait, it's not a hole. But keep in mind, what's behind my picture is the black suit of this ninja. So that's exactly what I should see in this case. Okay. The last thing we have to do is we are expected to add some text to our object. Now you can put your name on there. You can put my name on there. I don't know why you would, but you can do whatever text you want. For me, sometimes I like to get ahead of myself and think I'm funny. So again, I'm going to go to the 3D text tool, which is in that circle tool, that rectangle tool area, the bottom tool in that menu. And when that 3D text tool pops up, a couple things are real important. Number one, your height, the height of your letters. That's how tall your letters are from the top to the bottom of the letter. I would tell you you want to go at least 5 millimeters in height. I would tell you to try and go as high as 10 millimeters in height, but it depends on the space you got to fit in and that kind of thing. So you may have to do this a couple times to get your text the right size. I prefer to actually just redo my text rather than use the what's it called, the scale tool to change the size of my text. But that's my preference. If you're comfortable with the scale tool and you want to use it, you're more than welcome to. I would tell you just go back and do it over. It's not really that difficult. So I'm going to set my text to 10 millimeters. The other thing I'm going to tell you, and this is important, is the less text, the larger, the better the chance is that it's going to print really well on the 3D printer. So that's important to know. The other thing that's really important is your text extrusion height. Text extrusion, keep in mind, this is a requirement for your 3D print, can't be more than 2 millimeters. So I'm going to type 2 millimeters and leave it at 2 millimeters. Now, you can change your font also. Some of you may have troubles doing that, but I like, my favorite is Oswald Bold, but that doesn't mean that's what you have to like. And my ninja is just going to say this. Oh, it's a ninja after all, right? So that's what it's going to say, and click OK. And then I can drop that text on my keychain right where I want it to be. And I got a keychain, right? Now, if you didn't like the size of that text, go ahead and delete it, right? And then go back to your text tool. This is, again, the process I would go through. And I'm going to make this a little larger. I think I can fit bigger in there. And again, make sure you set up the text the way you want it. And then let's see. Go. Now you can see that's a little bit bigger than the space that I have. Oh, I just want to, okay. Let me move it. Something weird going on there. I don't know what happened, but all right. And now, because it doesn't fit, I would go to this scale tool, and all I really want to do is make it shorter. So I'm going to click on the middle box. The middle box is a big deal because that makes it so that we don't change the height of our text, and we don't want to because that 2 millimeters is pretty important. So I'm going to click in this middle box and just drag it so that it fits on there. And you can see now my letters are a little bit bigger and still fits in that space now that I've scrunched it in a little bit, but I still like the look of it. So I'm happy with this. I'm going to save my keychain, and I'm ready for that next step, wrapping it up, deciding which of our 4 or 5 keychains that we've made we're going to print, and writing to an STL file, and then getting those files ready to print. So pretty exciting stuff. We're pretty much ready to wrap this project up. Get your whole, get your text, and we'll talk about sharing those with Mr. Kizuka and Mr. Emerson. Can't wait to see the fun stuff you guys have done. That's it.